And this is the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show. And thanks to another better late than never night and some willpower, the Rangers ensured many happy returns in 2 weeks when they come back from the break. Rangers score twice in the third. They win it 4-3 in Columbus. Hi, everyone. Inside our Delta MSG studios alongside Steve Alliquette, I'm John Giannone. How about this? Will Cuylle didn't have a goal in 7 games. He had 2 goals in his last 24. And in the span of 1 period, he has 2 goals, and he maybe saves the Rangers season.
Did save the Rangers season. I think that the players are going to buy into this. Buy into unsettled offense. Both of Cuyle's goals started with a dump. So you start with a forecheck, forcing the goaltender to make a play here. Put pressure on him. It's a giveaway. And now Columbus never settles into their D-zone structure. So everybody's running around. It's very difficult to pick up your check. And there's also an element of surprise. So you almost give it to the goaltender in a place where he has to play it and then put pressure on him. And the shot is really where Columbus has struggled all week long. In all 3 losses, it's been long shots with net front pressure. So we talked about that a lot in the pregame. They had given up 11 goals during the 3 games that they've lost this week. Now it's 4 in a row, and it's plays like this. And I look at this one the same way, John. It's a dump, and it's a forecheck. And you force, this time, the D to give it away, and you get a goaltender that's surprised. And I oftentimes bring this up. The biggest and best scoring opportunities you typically get in a game come off of the element of surprise. But surprise comes from work. And for me, that period was laid on the foundation of forecheck, backcheck, giveaways, and takeaways. All unsettled offense. The team, you know what it is, John? You got to buy into the fact that we get points this way. The players want to be sold on getting points, as in goals and assists. Show a tape of all of these goals in unsettled offense coming out of the break and get everybody to buy in. Guys, this is how we get points. Do you like points?
Yeah.
You want to win games? Here's what it looks like. I mean, to me, if I'm a player and I'm hearing that from the coaching staff, I'm all in. But those are 2 great examples of that.
Yeah, they are lunch pail goals, which is what you'll see more than norm down the stretch. 1:57 into the third period, 1:39 remaining in the third period. 2 goals from Will Cuylle, assisted on the first by Trocheck. He should get an assist on the second. So this much we know. This is how the Rangers will head into the 2-week break. 3 points behind the Red Wings for the second wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. In their worst moments in December, the Rangers were as far back as 7. They have not been in a playoff position since December 11th, but they'll come out of the break 2 weeks from tonight in Buffalo, only 3 points out of a playoff spot. That's where they stand right now. 58 for the Rangers, 61 for the Red Wings, who had a 7-game win streak snapped today by the Tampa Bay Lightning. What a night for the Rangers, who win their 3rd straight game when trailing after 2 periods. They had only 1 of those kind of wins all season. They have 3 in their last 3 victories, and that has to be some sort of propellant for these last 6 weeks.
Well, the pushback brings you back to what the feeling was like last season, where we saw the team set a record in coming from behind victories. And I think that, look, it doesn't dismiss what happened last night for the players either. They're very unhappy about that. And look, they could have been 1 point away from playoff berth had they won last night. Making up for it tonight, you don't forget about what happened in the past or what's happened up until this point in the season. But there still is a pause right now where everybody can get back, be stronger, mentally refreshed, and take charge over these last, how many games now, John?
So let's see, I'm going to do my quick math here. They've played 55,
okay.
So that would be 27 left after tonight. Yeah, and they have 27 wins now on the season. So headline this one?
Yeah, 19-7 or something like that.
It might have to be even more than that, depending on what the teams around them do. Will and skill would be the headline tonight. The 2nd career 2-goal game for Will Cuylle. He did that back in November against the St. Louis Blues. Here he is in the dressing room, Dave Maloney, interviewing the star of the night.
Well, that was a heck of a third period. Walk us through the period, and walk us through the period.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we knew we had to at least get 1 goal and try to get to overtime, and then, we were just trying to get lots of pucks to the net. I felt like we kind of outplayed them most of the period, so that was kind of just the game plan, that desperation that we've had the last couple of games in the third periods.
And again, the desperation was no more evident than your first goal, getting that puck to the net.
Yeah, it was a nice play on the wall by Troach to kick it to me, and I was just, the guy was pretty tight on me, so I was just trying to kind of throw it to the net and see what happens, and it was a great screen in front by Laugh.
And again, speaking of Troach, he has the stick in the right position when they go to clear it and ends up on your stick again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously 2 huge plays from him to get the puck to me there, so, obviously it's a group effort out there.
And it's really nice to nail those 2 points down in this last game before the break.
Yeah, obviously it's huge too, especially they're ahead of us. That extra point that they don't get going into overtime is hopefully going to make a big difference going down the road.
Enjoy the break.
Good thoughts from Will Cuylle. His first goal there in the third period tied the game at 3. The Rangers had another goal that helped to tie a game, and it was from Mika Zibanejad. That came 6.5 minutes into the second period. We're going to go inside the film room powered by CDW. Steve's going to size up and break down how Zibanejad was able to score his 11th of the season.
Look, I think it was a goal that you would describe as a 3-zone goal. It starts in the Rangers' own end, and there's a D to D. Being able to get up the ice quickly as one helps everybody maintain that speed. All 3 zones, when the Rangers have speed and they're connected, they have the opportunity to make plays like this on the boards so that Fox, even though he's got 2 Columbus Blue Jackets on him here, has Kreider most likely communicating that he's an out. And at least Fox knows that he's there, visually most likely hears him. Kreider gets the puck across to Mika, and Mika really wants to set Chris Year up for a one-timer in the slot area, but that look is pushed back to Fox, and I think that when the Rangers are able to get a good look at the net and the goaltender believing that a shot is coming, you can see the defender lay out to try and block it, but that's exactly what Adam Fox is good at. I think he had 43 assists coming into tonight, and making plays across the ice certainly allow the guys to open up what was a Columbus team that should have been taken advantage of with all of the injuries they did have.
And for Chris Kreider, game number 47, assist number 4. But an important one as it tied the game at 2 and helped the Rangers do that thanks to Mika Zibanejad, who is our Montefiore Einstein Rangers Player of the Week. He has shown signs of life since moving to the right side and since JT Miller was acquired. A goal and an assist tonight, and he has 8 points in his last 5 games, moving up the ladder with 11 goals now, 26 assists on the season. Here is Mika Zibanejad again with Dave Maloney in the winning dressing room.
How important was that win?
Huge, especially after last night. Bounce back and again, not just getting the 2 points, but making sure that we got it done before overtime and getting them another point because we're chasing them. So it was huge.
And again, you've been in the situation before, but you're down by 1 going into the third. Take us into the room, that second intermission.
I thought we did a lot of good things, and then we did some things that kind of hurt us, and some of the things that we talked about before the game with their rush chances that they got and they scored on. But good feeling going into the third, knowing that if we clean a couple things up, we're going to get our chances and we're going to score. So that's what we did, and got the 2 points.
And it looked right from the get-go you're pretty hard on the forecheck, not allowing them to get out with any momentum.
Yeah, I mean it's a fast team. They have a lot of skilled guys too. So I don't think you're going to want to give any team or any players time. But today I thought we were on it from the beginning, and led to the 2 points today.
And finally, the coaching staff moved the bodies around a little bit. You're back in the middle. It seemed to work.
Yeah, I mean it was. I thought all the lines were going, and everyone contributed in their way, and that was big.
Listen, good luck.
If you're a believer in such things, the shorter hair seems to have helped Mika Zibanejad as well. But you heard Dave Maloney's talk to him about moving back to the middle, which he did for a bit tonight as well. A little bit of a blender situation for Peter Laviolette with the lines, especially to start the game. But again, we talked before the game, Steve, about just how important it's going to be for Mika Zibanejad to be Mika in this final stretch.
Before we get to that, I want to tell you something. Yager, he didn't like seeing his teammates cutting their nails before games. He thought it took energy away. So, talking about cutting things,
That's so weird.
Isn't that unbelievable?
That's just so
So, here's what I think. In the grand scheme of things, every team that is fighting for a playoff spot is deficient in some area, right? And so, if you say that Detroit, for instance, offensively, in the offensive zone, they're not great dots down. They don't have a great net front. That's Detroit's thing. For Columbus, defensively, they really struggle protecting the front of their net. So Cooley's first goal of the third period. With the Rangers, all I see right now is a team that is deficient in a consistent effort. If they can compete and play the way that they did in the third period, this team gets in. They have enough skill to be able to at least overwhelm you in other areas where most teams cannot. And they have game breakers when you think of an Artemi Panarin. Most teams don't have that guy. So I think that's where this team has to, again, have a pause and reload for this second push.
Rangers had an overwhelming third period last night, could not break through against the Penguins. They did it again tonight. It worked. 17-3 shot advantage in the third, 2-0 shot advantage, and the Rangers able to dance into the break with a 4-3 win.